fans are making a lot of noise at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, gotta get dealt with.
They hand it to Pollard. He comes running out the right side. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5 to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Cowboys Nation must have been on the nice list this holiday season as Santa Claus delivers a Cowboys Christmas gift on Christmas Eve. 40-34 over the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys take down their divisional foe and hand them their second loss of the 22 campaign. Welcome in to Cowboys Game Night alongside Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans breaking down the 6-point win for the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. And Nate, it took some resilience in this one. That's been the buzzword around the Cowboys locker room. They showed it today.
And it started with your quarterback. They was down 10-0 there early, but they kept pecking and hitting and counterpunching, and they was behind a lot of the game. But at the end of the game, they were ahead and they won the game.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened for the Cowboys because they were behind and trying to scratch and claw their way back into it, and ultimately they came out on top. 8th all-time meeting on Christmas Eve. Philly notched an early field goal on their first drive. Dallas on their first drive didn't do very much better. They gave this one right to Josh Sweat. Sweat does the rest, taking it all the way to the house. Dak's 8th interception in his last 4 games, Nate.
Yes, sir. Right there, he misjudged his height, I guess. He just took off with the ball. Wow. Come on, Dak, catch it.
Left it all the way short, and his 12th interception of the year turns into a 10-0 lead. Offense needs an answer on their next possession. They get it on the ground. Zeke with a touchdown brings it back within 3. On the first play of the second quarter, Jaron Kearse jumps into this passing lane, picking off Gardner Minshew, his first interception of the season, his 3rd in a Cowboys uniform. That sets up this drive for the Cowboys offense, trying to make it 14 unanswered points, and they do so with this throw. Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb, and then whoop, right back to the inside. He finds the end zone.
Oh, man, that was a nice pass right there. He laid it up for him, let him find the ball, got his head. He released it early. He found the ball, boom, adjusted to it, spent back to the inside for an easy touchdown.
Cowboys up 14-10, but Philly would have to earn it on 4th down on their next offensive possession. A QB sneak would have them on top. Both teams trading field goals, and Philadelphia led it 20-17 at the break. Following a 3-and-out by Dallas, Eagles faced with a 4th and 3 in the red zone. Devontae Smith somehow sneaks away and open for the easy pitch and catch. Dallas had a field goal of their own, but they needed a stop, and they got one. It's a Christmas gift left on the ground by Boston Scott. It's picked up by Jaron Kearse. A few plays later, Dak Prescott rolling out to his right, and he throws a dart to Michael Gallup into the end zone. A little toe drag swag ties the game, heading into the 4th quarter at 27. Philly making things tough, though. Dallas bringing the heat on cover 0, but Minshew places the ball to Devontae Smith underneath for the touchdown. And then after a couple sacks made it 3rd down and 30, Dallas desperate. They go to T.Y. Hilton down the left sideline. Welcome to Dallas, T.Y.
Oh, yes, sir, boy. He outran all the coverage. That was the cover 2. The safety was supposed to help over the top. The corner was slow in getting back. Safety supposed to be there. Bam! Big catch, big play. Welcome,
yeah, his first catch for the star goes for 52 yards. 4 plays later, Dak rips it to CD, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game, 2nd multi-touchdown game of the season. How can the defense swing the tide with Dallas up in this one? It was DaRon Bland with a huge interception, his 5th of the season, and it allowed the Cowboys to go back down and put points on the board. This was a huge play by DaRon Bland.
Oh, yes, sir. It's about who won it sometime. He read it real well, and he jumped on it and took it.
Took it away from Quez Watkins, allowing for Brett Maher to kick this one through to make it 37-34. So Dallas only up by 3, still holding on to that tight lead. 2.5 minutes left to play. Philadelphia back on offense. We talked about the gift earlier. What about a second one, as this time Miles Sanders loses the football? It's recovered by Dallas, and Dallas puts 3 more on the board. So they take a 6-point lead at 40-34. Final chance for Philly, and this one flies out of the back of the end zone. The Cowboys hold on and win a 1-possession game, 40-34 over the Philadelphia Eagles here in Week 16. They allowed 440 yards of total offense, but the Cowboys had 419 of their own, and they came up with the big plays when they needed it most late in this one. And so it's a happy Cowboys game night and a happy Christmas Eve in Dallas. When we come back, we're going to hear from Dak Prescott, who had a phenomenal game following his opening interception that put Dallas down by 10. We'll hear QB1 right after this.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. If you have a lucky quarter, it could pay off big when you play the new Cowboys scratch ticket game from the Texas Lottery.
An early interception could have really sunk the game for the Dallas Cowboys, but instead of really relying on the pick six, Dak Prescott buckled down, threw for 347 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's what he had to say following the win over Philadelphia.
Let's start with the interception.
Perfect.
Where you get that coat from? How about that?
Same place.
Same place?
Yeah, Tom, gentleman's playbook.
Well, you brought it up. Just talk about what happened in the interception, and did you go, here we go again?
Yeah, I was chasing him down. I go, is this really happening? Yeah, I mean, that one just, looking, I mean, you got to look right at myself. Obviously, I got to go look at it. Long guy, big, obviously, tall arms, and guess I just misjudged his length. And yeah, I mean, he made a great catch, and I don't know if he's had an easier interception in return than that one. But as I said, as I was chasing him down, I'm like, is this happening again? Oh, well, boom, you scored. Let me get back on the field, and let's just get this thing back rolling. Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Talk about your mental toughness, but just not blink and go back, and how do you do that? What's that about?
I mean, that comes from, I guess, a kid. I mean, when you're a younger brother, you get beat up and you take a lot of losses, and the only way to keep going is by responding and showing that whatever happened last play really doesn't matter. It's all about the next play, and that's who I am. Obviously, we've got Chad, a great mental coach who talks about just staying neutral, the good, the bad, whatever it is, thinking about the next, controlling the next, and that's all you can really do. So that's a great example right there. Obviously, throw interception, put the team down 10-0 to start the game off, and just understand I can't change that. Thinking about that won't change that. Now I just got to move forward one play at a time and be my best.
Hey, Dak, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. 3rd and 30, 52-yard bomb to T.Y. Hilton in his debut. Can you talk about the process of that play and already having that trust with the 4-time Pro Bowler to make that throw?
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy that's made a lot of big-time catches in his career, had a long career, and has been very, very successful. And, I mean, 4th down, I went to him, and he drew the holding call earlier in the game. And right there, 3rd and 30, he got even with him as I was releasing it. I knew to put some air under, and he'd go I knew he'd go make a play, and it would be either that or incompletion. And he obviously went and made a catch. So 3rd and 30, find T.Y. So, yeah.
4th time this season that Dak Prescott has thrown for 3 touchdowns in a ball game. Now, Nate, we've talked about the interceptions potentially being a problem for Dak Prescott, but the fact that he not only had the early one, but he put that behind him and had the game that he did, it's pretty impressive.
I mean, it just remind me of the younger Dak, man. When he, if something bad happened, he didn't care. He came back and threw for a lot of yards. He threw, for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, that 1 interception. But he rushed 6 times for 40-something yards. That is the Dak that we know. He became instinctive. He made his reads proper. He got the ball out. He made some great throws, especially that one to T.Y. Hilton. And then earlier in the game, we got a pass interference with him and T.Y. So Dak led those guys well.
You played on a lot of really talented teams. How much does it give you confidence as a player that doesn't play quarterback, but when your quarterback is playing his best ball?
Oh man, you can't stop him. You can't stop them. When they go into that zone, all you got to do is just hold your man 2.5 seconds. It's going to happen. That happened a lot with Troy.
It definitely did, especially with Nate Newton up front. It was a lot more than 2.5 seconds. What are you talking about? It was more like 5 or 6 seconds. Now, Dak was under pressure quite a bit. He was sacked 6 times, but they got the job done, and he held onto the football late into that ball game. Now, the Cowboys defense, they forced 4 takeaways in this one of which belonged to the rookie DaRon Bland, who now has 5 interceptions on the season. We'll hear from him when we come back on Cowboys Game Night.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. If you have a lucky quarter, it could pay off big when you play the new Cowboys scratch ticket game from the Texas Lottery.
The Cowboys defense forcing 4 takeaways, including the 5th interception of the year for the rookie DaRon Bland. He continues to make plays, and in this one it came at a great time, and the Cowboys get the win over the Philadelphia Eagles 40-34. Let's hear from the rookie out at AT&T Stadium.
Running around and extended plays.
Yeah, he was making it harder for us out there, using his feet and looking down the field. So we had to stay sticky in our coverage.
Congratulations, man.
You now have more than one interception in which it wasn't easy. You had to go in there and actually physically take that away from the receiver. Do you take pride in like, do you practice that and feeling like it's your ball every time the ball gets thrown?
Oh, yeah, anytime the ball in the air, I think it's mine. It's coming from me.
So how does it feel? This is your 5th interception. You're leading the team right now in it, rookie season, and you're doing it having not started all season. I mean, can you talk about the mindset going week to week and trying to stay focused and stay level?
I mean, we getting close to the end of the regular season, so we just try to take it game by game. That's it.
There's a lot of rookies. This feels too big for them. It doesn't seem like it feels too big for them. What they do to be ready for this team?
I mean, my teammates make me have that confidence in myself, and that's it. Really, just the confidence that's getting me ready and making me comfortable.
You guys come into this now with a chance at the NFC East, the chance at the 1 seed. What's that mean for this team to keep that chance alive?
Oh, that means everything. We try to do better than we did last season, so each game is like a championship game.
Talk about the resiliency of the defense. There were some plays that Minshew and that offense made in the Philadelphia offense, I should say. But you guys seemed to, whenever it had to happen, there was a takeaway. There was a big play for you guys. Talk about the mindset and the huddling on the sideline, knowing that, hey, the last play has to be the last play. It's time to make the next play.
Oh, yeah. Each time we came up on the fourth quarter, each time we came out there on the field, we just think there's one more play. We got to make one more stop and get the ball back and get the offense the ball. So that was our mindset.
You guys might wind up seeing these guys the 3rd time. What can you say about what you got out of going up against them another time?
I mean, we're going to be ready.
What did you learn? What do you think can help you if they're the 3rd meeting?
Really just like how we were today, just keep staying together, even in the tough times. Some things not going our way. You never know.
So you and I actually had the opportunity to go out to Oxnard, California and see DaRon Bland as a 5th-round draft pick in his first training camp, and we were impressed at the moment, but how much has he built onto those expectations the way he's played this season?
He's playing like a veteran, Kyle. I mean, he's breaking on balls, he's wrapping up receivers, he's tackling well, he's forcing on the run, he's doing everything that the coaches asked him to do. Al Harris, that is a find for them. That is a steal. At 5th round, Fresno State, he talks like a veteran, he acts like a veteran, and more importantly, he plays like one.
Yeah, he is a playmaker. 5 interceptions this year. Now, there was a ton of questions surrounding that cornerback room. How do you feel like they played today against a weaponized team like that Philadelphia Eagles offense?
Early in the game when I wasn't seeing the sacks mount up, I was like, but Nashawn Wright, he played well. This kid here played well. The new guys that came in and formed a bond around each other, they played well. I mean, coach gave them what they can handle. I guess he put too much to play. He put them in great coverages at the right times, and they just performed.
Yeah, it was really interesting because Philadelphia still took their lumps. They still had 2 100-yard receivers. Devontae Smith finished with 113 and 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown had 103, but the fact of the matter was you got the job done.
Oh, definitely. The turnovers, man. The 4 turnovers is what turns the game around, and that's what's going to happen. Going down the stretch, that's what you're going to have to do. If you're not going to generate that great pass rush, you're going to have 4 more turnovers.
That's one way to get it done. Yes. Continue to force takeaways. J-Ron Curse had a couple of them in this one. When we come back, we talk about the reliability of T.Y. Hilton on Cowboys Game Night. The Cowboys win an instant classic over the Philadelphia Eagles 40-34 at AT&T Stadium. And one of the defining moments of this Christmas Eve classic was T.Y. Hilton's 52-yard grab on 3rd down and 30 to keep the Cowboys' hopes alive. Let's hear from the newest Dallas Cowboy in his first game in a Cowboys uniform.
I appreciate it.
T.Y., can you just talk about the mindset heading into that 3rd and 30? What was going through your mind making that catch?
They called my personnel, and I was running, and Slade was kind of, looking, eyes in the backfield, and I was like, man, if that give me it, and then the ball just took off, and I'm like, well, here we go, and that's what I do, man. I just make plays. That's what I'm here for, continue to make plays, continue to guide those guys and help them as much as I can, and, when I get out there, just show that I'm still here.
In that moment, how gratifying to be able to make such a huge play, especially at that point in the game.
Oh, it was huge. We needed a spark. We needed a play. We was trading in the wrong direction. It was 3rd and 30. So, for me to make that play, it kind of sparked us and got us going.
CD said in the last 2 weeks since you've been here, you've slowed the game down for him a lot. What have you been talking to these young guys about?
I was just teaching them, man. Everything, through my 10, going on 11 years, everything that I learned, I'm just trying to coach those guys up and teach them, the things that, that help me, along the way. So, I'm just helping them, man. And it showed out there. And I kind of told them this week, on the corner route, aim a little higher. It's hard to make that catch than easy to come back down. And, when he made it, he came back and said, thank you, man, I appreciate it. So, yeah.
Have you got any 30-30s?
Nah, not many.
What are you thinking when you line up there? Were you expecting to convert that?
It was all go. So, Slade kind of had his eyes in the backfield. I got even with him. He still was so I just hit the gas and ran past him.
Jerry talked after the game about.
Throughout his time in the NFL, T.Y. Hilton has been known as a deep threat. And now that he's in Dallas, he's going to be known as Mr. 3rd and 30. When we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, we'll tie a bow on this Cowboys win, their 11th of the season, and outline what the short week will look like for Dallas as they take on Tennessee on Thursday.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys, Reliant, an NRG company, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
This might be one that NFL fans will want to go back on Game Pass and watch for quite some time because the Cowboys win in an instant classic 40-34 over the Philadelphia Eagles. It was one of the most highly anticipated matchups and a rivalry that the NFL will always turn their attention to, and the Cowboys rewarded Cowboys Nation for remaining vigilant. Welcome back in to Cowboys Game Night here from the Star in Frisco. Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Nate, let's wrap this thing up. What were your final thoughts on how Dallas was able to take care of business?
I just think you still need to have time possession, which they won today. They kept them up on 100 yards. So when Tennessee come in, let's keep them around 100 yards. And our offensive line, we have to play better. We had too many sacks and too many leaks on our quarterback. I like when Dak run, but that's not having him under that type of pressure.
Yeah, you got to have a way to get him protected. 6 sacks isn't always going to get you through, especially whenever you're playing against better offenses like that moving into the playoffs. Now, you got a short week ahead. Tennessee coming up on Thursday. It is a travel day as well. Not a whole lot of time to turn around.
Mental. That's all that you got time for. The hot tub, the cold tub. The hot tub, the cold tub. Mental. Be prepared mentally, and you can get through this.
Of course, you do have a little bit of an extra day since the Cowboys did play on Saturday, not normally on Sunday. How much can an extra day actually help things out?
Oh, man, yes. Help these bodies, man. Like Tyron Smith, we need to get him back healthy. We need to make sure that Zach Martin is healthy. Our O-line, I'm going to keep going back to that. They have to be able to gel. They didn't do the musical lineman this week, and I'm so happy they didn't do that because these guys got a week now to work together, and they can just only get better.
Yeah, Tyron Smith moving out to right tackle for the first time since his rookie season. The more reps he gets out there, the better he'll be. The Cowboys get the win 40-34 over the Philadelphia Eagles. For Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans and our entire DallasCowboys.com crew. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. We'll see you next week on Cowboys Game Night.